Okay. This meeting is called to order at 6 o'clock. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everybody. We are being broadcast live over at Van Buren Television and YouTube. So, Clerk Wright, could you please call the roll?
Trustee Kelly.
Here.
Trustee Frazier. Absent and excused. Trustee Martin.
Here.
Trustee Boyden.
Here.
Treasurer Bud.
Here.
Clerk Wright is present. Supervisor.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. I'd read an executive summary that, which tells us about what's going to happen today. We have a consent agenda that we basically all agree pretty much is the usual stuff. It's prepaid list, voucher list, paying the Edison bill, the phone bill, and things like that. We also have had to form a DDA, Development Area Citizens Council, and we got, we're asking for the approval to be on that council of Jackson Paul, Audrey Smith, Carrie Castino, Jeffrey White, Kathleen Springer, Dean Trudeau, John Cawthorn, Linda Stevenson, and Margot DeLibra. The DDA is redoing its developmental plans, and they need an area citizens council to help them approve them. We're also going to be doing approval of on the consent approval of resolution for illicit discharge prohibition policy on township properties. This is required by Wayne County. It's pretty much paperwork that we're required to sign off on. Approval of a resolution also to appoint Kevin Lawrence, our Director of Sewers, as our township representative to DUA's board. That's the Downriver Utility Water Authority Board, and Ron Akers would be his alternate. Today, we have one item on new business that includes a resolution granting Salem Township consent to construct and maintain a sewer line to connect to the treatment plant at the Ypsilanti Community Utilities Authority. And that is all. Can I get a motion to adopt the agenda?
Through the chair, make a motion, we adopt the agenda as presented.
Treasurer Bud, Trustee Kelly. I have a motion, I have support, hearing no further questions. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? This motion passes. Next, I move into the adoption of the consent agenda. Would somebody like to read that? Trustee Boynton.
I move that we accept the following, which is on the consent agenda. Board meeting minutes of August 5th. Budget review meeting minutes of August 18th. The prepaid list of August 7th and August 14th. The voucher list of August 19th. Again, the prepaid lists of August 27th and August 28th, and the voucher list of September 2nd, all of 2025. Approval of the appointments of Jackson Paul, Aubrey Pruitt, Carrie Castino, Jeffrey White, Kathleen Springer, Dean Trudeau, John Cawthorn, Linda Stevenson, and Margot DeLibra to the the VBT DDA Development Area Citizens Council. Approval of Resolution 2025-23, adoption of an illicit discharge prohibition policy on township properties. And approval of Resolution 2025-24, appointing Kevin Lawrence as the primary township representative to the DUWA board and Ron Akers as the alternate representative.
Thank you, Trustee. Can I get a second?
I'll second it, but can you tell me what is that number 10 again? What is that?
Kevin, do you have that information, or should I? Okay, basically, everybody that's got, everybody that builds in the township has to have a discharge system. Most of them are retention ponds and things like that. But the only one that never was required was us. So they want us to basically sign off on what we've got, that we understand that we're not going to illegally discharge into their sewers.
Right.
Okay.
In that case, I'll second.
Okay, thank you. Clerk Wright. I have a motion, I have a second. Hearing no further discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next item is public hearing. We have none. And the next item after that is correspondence, announcements, and presentations. I'll go to the board first. Does the board have any announcements they want to make? No? Okay. Does the public have any announcements they want to make before I go to our presentation? Come on up, Director. No, wrong director. We're saving you for the, it's a big show.
So I just wanted to let everyone know that on Saturday, September 13th, from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m., we are going to be hosting the second annual Paddle in the Park at French Landing Park. So this event is designed to give people a chance to come test drive a kayak out in Belleville Lake, learn about our kayak rental opportunities, see the kayak launch. We'll also have games for all ages to play while people are out on the lake. Again, the kayak usage is for 18 and up only. There'll be giveaways, and Kona Ice will be out there giving shaved ice for a treat. So again, that's Saturday, September 13th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. at French Landing. Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else? Okay, we have a presentation today on fleet management. Director Lockett, could you take over?
Yes, sir. Well, good evening, board. Most of you probably are aware, the township is currently exploring updating our current fuel management system. Our system is quite antiquated right now. So we're exploring the opportunity to, basically this system will connect the vehicle to the fuel pump of all township vehicles. So it would not be connected to an individual like myself with a key fob. The car pull up, it identifies the car, then it'll turn on the pump. So I have Matt Gilbert here from EJ Ward, and he's gonna do a presentation to go over what this system looks like and what it's gonna do for us. Matt?
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Matt Gilbert. I'm with EJ Ward, Fuel Management, Simply Fuel Solutions. We're a little background about Ward. We're a small family-run company out of San Antonio, Texas. I'm the regional sales rep based out of Cheshire, Connecticut. So let's dive into the solutions we can provide. We service a lot of different markets all throughout the United States. Police, fire, schools, water, trucking, and some of the partners that we have in the immediate area are the City of Troy, Dearborn Public Schools, Plymouth Canton Public Schools, City of Northville, Gliwa, City of Toledo, Central Transport, as well as Bloomfield Township. So fuel is one of the largest overheads in any fleet or Department of Public Works. So it's very important. And currently, right now, this is how you're tracking your fuel. And it's a manual keypad entry through a fob. Driver pulls in, fobs in, types in the vehicle information as well as the mileage, selects a pump, fuels. The issue with that is it can be very inaccurate. Is the driver typing in the right amount of the right miles? And you always want to have the right miles because that's how, and Larry can tell you this, that's how you track your preventative maintenance to extend the life of each one of the vehicles in your fleet. What we propose and what we provide is an automated system where we have a proprietary piece of hardware which plugs into the OBD2 port, and we run a wire through the vehicle, and there's a ring antenna that fits over the filler neck. So when that vehicle pulls in, what the driver needs to do is they have a fob, and it tracks, that fob is attached to the driver, the employee, because vehicles change, right? And so now you know who is fueling the vehicle, and all of the telematics is pulled from the OBD2 port, that piece of hardware, and gets put into our software. So now the mileage is on. It's 100% on. There aren't any mistakes on it. It's pulling it right from the engine. All right. The driver then gets up, selects the pump, and dispenses the fuel. The amount of fuel is then tracked in our software of how many gallons that was used per vehicle. So there's no discrepancies whatsoever. We can also set in our software, if you have an employee that continually goes over the mileage for preventative maintenances, we'll give them a warning coming up 500 miles, you need an oil change. And that will display right on the screen here on our fuel control terminal on the fuel island. When it gets to 200 miles, it'll continue to say the same, 200 miles. Well, when you're over your mileage, say, 5,000 miles for each oil change, we'll allow 1 gallon of gas to be pumped. So the driver's not going anywhere. That vehicle has to come in and it has to get an oil change or tires or however you want, however you're tracking service. We program that all in our software. Okay. We're a cloud-based system, so all of our software and all the data is in the cloud. One of the great features of this is emergency authorizing fueling. So in an emergency, you can authorize fuel from a phone, your desktop, your laptop, a tablet. It makes, when in a pinch, it makes it really easy, where someone doesn't physically have to go down to the fuel island to authorize fuel in an emergency situation. Okay. With being cloud-based, there is a subscription fee on a monthly basis. It's based off of the number of terminals. However, that is also your service and support agreement. So as long as you're on our SaaS subscription, this fuel control terminal, this blue piece of hardware that sits on the island, 100% parts for life on that terminal. So a keypad failure, a motherboard goes down, a LED screen, a lightning strike. As long as somebody doesn't drive into it, and believe it or not, it happens, it's covered for life. Okay. That kind of just hit a lot of the high points on the terminal. It's a Windows 10 operating system, a full numeric and alphanumeric keypad.
Could you stop there for a second? Did you say Windows 10? Yeah. I thought they stopped.
Is that going to be stopped being supported in October?
Okay.
Right.
This October?
Yes.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It's causing us to change over a whole bunch of stuff around here.
Okay.
So Update on that.
Yep, I will, okay. Everything is real time, all the data is real time. And we can, I've hit on a couple of these. We can customize fuel scripts, the remote authorization of fueling. This piece here, this is the CAN-Ceiver that goes, the piece of hardware that goes, it plugs into the OBD2 port that captures all the telematics, and that communicates with the fuel control terminal on the island. Our hose module goes on the dispenser. What that does is that's just an extra layer of security on the actual dispensing. When the hose module and the ring antenna come within 3 inches of each other, it actually dispenses the product. It allows the product to flow. Okay. And what that does is there's security there where if a vehicle pulls in, fuels, and then somebody wants to inch up a little bit and then try to fill their own vehicle, there's security on that. Okay. And that's what this hose module is. Okay. We have a tag application which can be used for small, lawnmowers, leaf blowers, weed whackers, if you want to get that granular with tracking fuel. Our software as a service, we kind of hit that application. We can customize and we interface with your fleet management software through open APIs. And we can create as many reports as you possibly could want. It's a really big list, and we can bring them, we can export them into a lot of different files. And then we touched earlier on the secure hosting.
You mentioned small amounts of gas for the
Yeah,
I don't know,
miscellaneous.
stuff.
Yeah.
So a lot of our DPW guys and our sewer guys fill up cans of gas because they fuel up out their little, whatever they're using. How do they fuel it up if they're putting it into a 5-gallon tank? I got a plastic 5-gallon tank. I got to fuel it up and take it out to the job site because I'm running, I don't know, tree trimmers.
Mhm.
So you can do that without the OB, whateher that is?
Yeah, so what we do is we have a little tag application.
So I have to have tags on every single gas tank?
You
Gallon gas
you
can?
don't have, but you can.
What happens if I don't want to have it on the 5-gallon cans? Like that can. You got a can of gas there.
Right here. Yep.
Yeah, I bet I got 100 of those. So how do you handle that guy?
So this tag right here, that's a tag. You take, essentially, think of it as a fob, okay? So we assign this can as an asset number, all right? We take this tag, we use adhesive and put it onto the gas can.
Oh,
So now we know it's going into this miscellaneous gas can.
okay. All right. That's going to work, huh? I'm looking at you, Director.
And what's unique about this, right now, it's unfortunate, but we don't know how much fuel we're actually using in miscellaneous equipment around. We have
I know you got 100 out there.
Yes.
They take gas.
But
And you never know what you need.
we have to be able to control what an employee is putting. That's the key line. So between me and Director Lawrence, we got to process. Because it's just like a tractor. It's not gonna have a rain by the tag, so they can't fuel the tractor.
I'm sorry, Trustee Boynton? Trustee Martin?
I'm sorry, you want to go first?
No.
My question is, what is the cost install the hardware on all the township vehicles that will be going up to the terminal or the island. That's one question I have right now.
Mhm.
What is because none of our vehicles has this
Right.
now. None of
Right.
them.
Yep.
So it's going to be retrofitted with it.
Mhm.
Um, you mentioned a pretty involved process as far as how they will talk back and forth with the terminal at the island. So what that seems to be a pretty big cost. Whichever one you want to
Right.
answer. Yeah.
Well, this just to get the board to understand.
Microphone, not for us, for YouTube and TV.
What we're trying to do is get more idea of where we're trying to go and to have inventory control of how much fuel goes into township vehicles versus my own personal vehicle. So right now, if the supervisor asks me, Larry, can you 100% assure me that we used 10,000 gallons of fuel last month, that it went in all township vehicles? Absolutely not. I can tell you who pumped fuel, but I can't tell you honestly that it went into a township vehicle. At some point, we have to be able to account for fuel being dispersed in township vehicles, period.
Would we be able to take care of that if we set up a program to where only township vehicles can pull up to that terminal? I'm just throwing things out.
I
at
got you,
You know,
got
you
you.
know, I'm not.
No,
I'm
no,
not-
no,
I'm-
no,
I'm not-
no, no, that's a fair question.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm not combating with you. I'm just.
Right now, I'm 95% sure that it's only township vehicles pull up to our pump.
Okay.
But if we get audited right now, we cannot say or have a record to say fuel went into vehicle 1, 2, 3, 4.
Trustee Martin?
Our vehicles, each one of our fleet vehicles will be outfitted so it connect to our pump. So it can match.
Okay. Trustee Martin?
I like the idea of being able to manage your fuel usage. As Trustee Boynton is, that get some kind of sense of what the initial cost is going to be, and try to that against the benefit and what we can save. And things. I mean, it's a great idea. I think it's a good idea, but
Absolutely. Now, we should be okay for this board. The cost associated with we're going out. That's why I want to listen to you all. So you want the question, and make sure I answer.
I found out this was going to be going on today, and I was told that he would tell what we were doing, and getting it you wanted to give, but he did not have it for me either.
Oh, I have a number, but what is
And how long is that for?
that's for the additional setup of.
So that's is that for gas tank, or because you aren't going to use our old tank?
We're gonna have a new pump, new dispenser, everything. All that.
New tank?
No,
I'm going to say the tank is like 300,000. Deal. Okay.
That you pump into the vehicle.
Okay.
It's for, let's see, the hardware that goes into each one of the vehicles to upfit the vehicle, all right? The fuel control terminal, the, a new dispenser, dual product, dual hose, okay? And the software, okay? Now,
Is a cost of 98,000.
first year, yeah.
Second year.
Second year would be, and that's the SaaS hosting. That's the SaaS hosting fee, and that's 6,000.
A year.
And that's your service and support agreement.
I'm going to take a wild guess here, but I believe we operate with about $100,000 in fuel a year. Just let's see what we're trying to protect. And the equipment that he's replacing, the pump, the actual fuel pump, and the reader, it's got to be pre-2000. It's old. It breaks down a lot. 3? It's not pre-2000 then, but it's close.
You can extend out the life of one of your vehicles by a year because of this system. You pay for it.
I'm sorry, say it again.
If you could, because you're tracking the fuel and you're doing all your preventative maintenance properly, right? And what's the cost? What's the cost of a pickup with a sander and a plow?
55.
Okay.
Say, most are police cars. So, they quite, so oil change running probably $109 oil change. That is the oil.
So if you're staying on top of your entire fleet, and you extend out that one or two of those vehicles an extra year because you're staying on top of it, as opposed to how you're doing it now, you've paid for the system.
When I got here 8 years ago, we had 68 vehicles in our fleet. I think we're down to 50. So there's a lot of vehicles. Sure.
Just to clarify the initial startup, now you said that this to be upgraded and updated, that's included in the contract?
It is. Yep.
But if a new kind of pump deal, then that replacing that screw or
Yeah, well,
or the software that
not
comes
the
with it.
not the island hardware, but the software. Yeah, software upgrades for life.
But the pump stuff is included in the initial startup.
It is.
What I'm
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah, and that's a one.
One time.
Yeah,
The fact that it tracks the vehicle mileage for maintenance too, I think that's an added benefit.
your installation of the hardware in each one of the vehicles, and we base this off of 9 vehicles, okay? And your dispenser, that new dispenser here, that's the majority of the cost.
How many of those are we gonna need?
One,
One per
One.
vehicle.
yeah,
One pump. For
one
tank.
pump, and then,
Period.
yeah. And you said you based it on 90 vehicles you have? Do we have 90 vehicles? That's booster vehicles. Fire, police, I know. We got almost half cars, seems like.
I mean, from what I say, I think it's something we need. Fleet management is always in any kind of cars when people are putting fuel into the cars. It's needed to be able to track, especially government entity. I'm pretty sure we're only using the right people putting gas in the pump in the car. But I sit at the window, I see that cars all day. I can't recognize them all. But I'm hoping they're township cars. They all don't have a township logo on it. You know, we have undercover cars. We have every type of vehicles. But we do need to track and see not only just are they township vehicles, how often are they filling up with gas? I mean, are we using the right amount of gasoline? Are we filling it 3 times a weekend? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, this is going to give us an idea of how much gasoline we're using throughout the week. Not only just is the township vehicles. I mean, right now we pretty much operate on the honor system, and that's not proper for any type of government.
Larry, the fire trucks, are they diesel or gasoline?
Diesel.
So we would need 2 pumps, one gasoline, one diesel, or okay, dual nozzles.
I'm pretty sure. No, I can find. I gotta look at that.
And then go all the way back.
I'm schedule. I tell you.
Throughout the night,
Do that.
any time of the night, any time of the day, and they fuel.
All right.
Brittany, we got a list of how many vehicles we have. Yeah, we can look that up
I
tomorrow.
want that list. I know, but I can't.
I have it.
Replaced 18
I'm
cars.
pretty sure you probably close
I
to
have
being
it.
right.
That's how I base that number on. Trust me.
We have to replace 18 cars a year to maintain that fleet.
Yeah, you can, try this in.
Oh, okay. And lawnmowers to take your daddy in. All right. That's insane because we reduced them. We had so much dead iron in this place.
Well, we had a lot of ones that wasn't running over.
I know. We must have had 20 cars that we hauled off to the salvage yard.
Right. So
Yeah.
that was part of that list.
Oh, I know. They're gone now. So, all right. They're calling it up. I'm curious. What is it?
There's cars, these are all police.
How many?
What's, 30?
30.
Ish, but they have ordnance, marine divisions, you have like trailers, boats.
Yeah.
Yeah. Gonna say.
We got lawnmowers and
I'd say we got more than 30. I'd say it's probably close to 50 actual
All the
transportation vehicles outside of tractors and. All right, I gotta see this.
Those are all just, those aren't vehicles.
Look at it.
Not insured. She's looking at it. I know they are.
Leg.
All they got to be gasoline, yeah.
I will say that. Good presentation. Good.
I think it's necessary.
Good.
I do too.
So this does have to come before the board again. The second bite of the apple, if you guys have any questions. But thank you very much for coming out. And Director Lockett, thank you very much for keeping us.
List of the inventory of vehicles.
Okay.
Yes, please. Thank you. Yeah, I'd be really curious to see that, especially when every department screams they don't have a vehicle.
Exactly. Well, I can tell you how mine spend.
Don't have any.
Yeah, no.
My sister got one. Oh my gosh, I gotta tell you.
I need a beer.
You can share ours. Share ours with we share ours with Meals on Wheels. We don't go out for 3 hours in the morning.
Yeah, sure, you share one.
Yeah. All right. Moving on. Let's see, where were we?
Oh, thank you.
I'm lost for a moment here. Give me a moment. Thank you very much, Matt. All right, we're into public comment. Does anybody from the public wish to comment on basically the Salem sewer? Nope, okay. Moving on, we're into unfinished business, which we have none. And now we're into new business, which is discussion on to consider approval of a resolution granting Salem Township to construct and maintain a sewer line within the public right-of-way through the Township of Van Buren to connect to the treatment plant of the Ypsilanti Community Utilities Authority. Can I get a motion?
Through the chair,
Trustee Boynton.
move to approve of Resolution 2025-25, granting consent to Salem Township pursuant to MCL 247.183, number 1, to construct and maintain a sewer line within the public right-of-way through the Township of Van Buren to connect to the treatment plant of the Ypsilanti Community Utilities Authority in Ypsilanti, Michigan.
Support. Trustee Kelly, support. Okay, Director Lawrence, could you please come up and give us what's going on here?
Salem Township is working on a sanitary sewer line to Yucca's sewer plant, which is on the west side of Willow Run Airport. This is an alternative to constructing their own wastewater treatment plant, which would discharge into Fellows Creek near Canton Township, Plymouth Township border. They have approached the township to adopt a resolution to consent to install this line within the Wayne County right-of-way along Denton Road and Eagles Road. Both Canton Township and Plymouth Township have approved this resolution supporting this request. The township supervisor has had some conversations with Plymouth Township supervisor and is with this construction project will have the opportunity to coordinate and work with them to the installation of this utility to create additional capacity to Yucca. I also want to say that currently 34% of our sewer flows into the Ridge Valley system, which is at capacity most of the time. During heavy rains, we're over capacity. So by allowing this and tying on to this, it will create extra capacity for future development.
Any questions?
Through the chair.
Trustee Martin?
That was my question, and you said that we can tie into it, and is that true?
Yes.
Actually, I've been working with them. We can tie into it, or we can alongside it. We don't know which, and we don't know which one we want. Because we may not want to tie into it, because it's a force main, and it's very expensive to run force main, and we'd have to build something, I don't know,
Pump station, a lift
a
station?
lift station that might be more expensive than just running the pipe, because we're so close.
And the reason why I ask, because we have a development coming along that area soon, and then maybe possibly to the east of that, other development too, that's gonna need sewer, so I guess that's something that we weigh.
So we are at capacity, or close, right? And Rouge, you're the sewer girl, right?
Are they gonna need a lift station, or is gonna be a lift station involved in it, in the construction of it?
It could be, yes, it could
It's
be.
a long distance for that to come. So the waste is coming from Salem Township itself, or from
It's coming from
areas-
Salem, it's coming from Salem Township.
coming from Salem Township? Yeah, that's quite a distance.
But, also, wastewater studies showed that there is capacity at Yucca. If we ran our own pipes, it would be even more expensive than tying into this system coming through.
Okay, so I'm going to back up just a second and state that we have identified Rouge Valley, like everybody here knows, we're at capacity pretty much. We could bring in a subdivision, maybe two, but sooner or later, or a business or two, but sooner or later, we've got to get more capacity, and there is none left at Rouge. So we have asked Ypsilanti Utility Authority if we can purchase some capacity. They tell us they have some capacity for us to purchase. We have told them that we want to move forward with this to take me to our board, and they're preparing that information. So we in order to expand our northern areas and subdivisions in and industry in, we are going to run a sewer line, whether we like it or not. We're going to have to, or else we're just going to have to stop growth, which is sometimes not a bad idea either. But so the way we're going to go with that sewer, we're going to have to buy easement. We're going to have to do soil boring. We're going to have to have engineers on the site the entire time that they're working. We're going to have to dig a really deep hole and put a sewer in it, and we might even need a lift station in there. Whereas Salem Township's going to dig a really big hole, and maybe we have to dig it 2 feet bigger. They understand that. They're okay with it. We'll pay for the 2 feet extra. Perhaps we have to put the sewer pipe in. We'll do that. We'll put the sewer pipe in. We don't want to bring in a whole bunch of engineers when they're going to be working right next to each other, so they can work together, and we'll help with that. So if we're going to spend, say, $8 million to put it in on our own, buying easements, doing soil boring, cutting the hole, all this other stuff, maybe it's only $5 million to put the sewer in alongside theirs. They're willing to work with us any way we do it, and so's Eagle. They're very, very thankful that we're doing this.
Right, well, I'm gonna say chipping in.
Actually, the irony of it is they had $35 million that they got from the state, and I think I've already told you that story. But they spent $24 million of it laying all the pipe and water systems around in Salem. They're not connected to anything. They only have $10 million left. So the developer's pretty much on the hook for about 25 more million. So there is a chance this doesn't happen, except for, I'd say that, but the guy that's doing it, wants to do it, is probably the most politically connected guy in the state. So he's probably going to get what he wants. Also, we have applied to the state of Michigan for an Aerotropolis LDFA verbally. And we told them, because among other things, we need the money because we have to construct about $10 million worth of sewer to the north. This would save that money, and theoretically, we get the money from the state on that grant to MEDC to pay for that sewer.
To the chair.
Yes, sir.
I guess the question I have today, if we approve this today, what will it cost Marion Township, if anything?
Nothing. Nothing. We'll even get some new roads out of it.
Or in the future,
Nothing.
unless we choose to tie in or to build alongside?
Correct.
Okay.
Any other questions? No?
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on with me. I apologize. This is going to cost the township nothing unless we choose to tie into it?
Tie into it or run a pipe next to it, yes. But again, you heard from him, and we know because we've seen the presentations. We are close to our limit for discharge to the Rouge system, which is the Wayne County system. Is it the Wayne County or Rouge is Wayne County? So at any rate, when say a new subdivision comes here, and they do their whole plan up, and then we go through the planning commission, and they send all their stuff to Wayne County, and then Wayne County puts a stamp on their saying that yeah, you can build it because you've got a retention pond and everything. They also have on there, is there enough sanitary sewer discharge for your area for it to happen? If you don't have enough sanitary sewage discharge, even after all that stuff's done, they kill the deal. The subdivision doesn't go in. We don't want to be there. I think we don't want to be there. Okay. Okay, I have a motion by trustee Boynton and supported by trustee Kelly. Hearing no further questions, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Reports, we have none. Public comment for non-agenda items. Is there anybody from the public that wishes to comment on any item? No? Okay. Board comments. Is there any board comments you guys want to make? Okay, anybody, that's it. Can I get a motion to adjourn? Mr. Boynton? Mr. Wright? Clerk Wright? I have a motion, I have a second, all in favor? Aye.